Hello, welcome to
Hey,
Freewheeling Friday.
hello.
Now this feels like Freewheeling Friday, really.
So, Karthik, the place. Oh, I mean, my name is still says Karthik. Okay, I need to change that, Karthik. Okay.
Yeah, please.
I think one of us have to change the name.
Yeah, I think both of us are admins. Hence this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
How
Yeah.
about now?
Yeah. All good. Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully streaming because I don't see any viewers as not the usual thing, right? We have a lot of people joining us, so good to seeing this going live on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and Karthik's streaming from a foreign location out of Bangalore.
Finally, we get to step out.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We got to step
No, no,
out.
we shouldn't tell he is in a foreign location. Hey, people, Karthik is in UB City. Whoever wants to go pitch your startups, you can meet Karthik there for the next 2 hours. And welcome to pitch your startup.
Next 2 hours.
Yeah, next two
Damn.
hours.
Yeah,
And if you want to invest through Java Capital, even then you can go meet him.
even
He's there in
better.
UB City.
Even better. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But do you guys hear any background noise or?
We hear a lot, but it is
Yeah,
Okay.
it is adding
you,
a good vibe.
yeah, you're
Oh,
adding.
okay.
There is a dance music, Karthik.
I know, right? Proper dance music.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, are people able to see the stream? I mean, because I still see 0 0. I mean, is that? Oh, that's only YouTube, is it? Okay.
No, this is you don't get viewer count from LinkedIn and the other platforms.
Ah, okay. Got it. Got it.
So this is Vinod acting as the admin after a long time. So
Yeah.
that's why you see a lot of questions, discussions going around viewership.
Yeah, yeah. So I think it's been an interesting week, right? Yesterday, we had an unplanned,
Impromptu dinner
yeah,
meet.
impromptu catch up. I was thinking you should just pull that tweet. I was just about to go to pull that tweet and start off on a very, very exciting note. I'm still figuring out how to do that. Okay, add a source. I think that's what Karthik does, or share a screen. I don't know what he does. I'm going to try out. Yeah.
Share screen, Vinod.
Yeah, yeah, Karthik. The problem is I don't use Chrome, so I use Safari, so I have to learn new tricks as I
Yeah,
go
this
along.
will be fun. We will see Vinod trying out different things today.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're going to do that. I'm going to
And Vinod,
start with.
you still look blurry, man.
Uh, that you
I
guys
will
tell
put out
every time.
the. I think I can bring out the the tweet. One second.
Are you seeing my screen now?
Not yet.
No, no, not yet. I will do it, Vinod. Wait.
Okay, here we go. Uh-oh.
I have the tweet up, Vinod. Do you want me to put it up?
Yeah, put it up. Yeah, I think I'm not logged in because this tab is, belongs to. Okay, it can show the entire screen itself. Okay, let me try Karthik. One last second. Wait. Okay, here we go. Okay, can you see the tweet now?
We can see your calendar, Vinod.
No, Karthik.
Yes, yes, yes. We can
Yes,
see it.
yes, yes. No, I've shared the entire screen. That's why you're able to see the calendar. Here's the little celebration, folks. Don't ask for what. That's not something to be told. Huh? In open. Yeah.
And that some of our ardent supporters commenting.
Ha ha ha. All over. So I think it's an interesting thing. This is. You can see how we've grown. I can't really see myself now when I'm talking. Okay. Okay, so that's done. Yeah, back here, Karthik. Oh, that's still here. Oh, that's Karthik now, is it?
No,
You put up
Karthik
that.
shared. Much
Hmm.
better.
I
Yeah.
just zoomed it up a little bit so people can actually see us.
Hmm.
Vinod is
Yeah.
all dressed up.
Yeah, I'm pretty much, in the same shirt since yesterday.
Hey, me too.
Karthik also.
No, I get to change mine.
You'll see, Karthik. See, you are in the same shirt. Yeah.
That's okay. This is the life of micro VC, so it's fine, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this is
So
fun,
this is the
guys.
NASA. This is NASA. See?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Today, Karthik is promoting NASA.
Nice. You should put Java capitals, we said. Yeah. Anyway, this is fun, guys. We've had some fun time
Generally,
discussing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think we discussed so much about the industry. People who are backstabbing, French stabbing. So I think it was
on
a
Twitter, especially, Vinod has been very active this week, taking polls.
yeah. You should put that poll, Karthik. That's my next discussion. That's my
I
favorite.
have it. I have it. I
Yeah,
have the poll also.
yeah. So let's
There it
discuss
is.
the poll, and I want to discuss about Babajis and Swamijis after this. The agenda for the week. Uh,
Uh,
Oh, wow. You want to poke the bear?
Babajis and Swamijis next. Yeah. How imagine the most modern of industries run with Babaji's blessings. Yeah. Okay, here it is. We I think we have some friends also at Freewheeling. Looks like yeah, Karthik will join us shortly. As this is happening, right? Just I ran a poll the last couple of days just for you folks to take a look. Uh, I mean, there's been a lot of debate, about how many startups you should invest, to build a decent portfolio. And I always keep telling, right? I think there's no right or wrong way. I mean, maybe 100 company portfolio also will give you the same return. Maybe a 20 company portfolio also might give you the same return. I think there's no problem. But I think if you're doing 100 company portfolio, right? Maybe Bhargavi also can add in. I mean, can you really add value? Can you really even focus on any of these companies, right? I think that's in question.
It would
Uh,
depend on the team, right? If you have an army of team, I think it's possible, but otherwise, I would think it is quite difficult, right? If you have 100 company portfolio in 1 year, which means your total portfolio is going to be what in no time 150, 170 companies. Maybe you need a lot of folks in the team. So I think it would probably depend on that. If it is one GP or two GPs, I think it's practically going to be extremely difficult to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, that's what I've been also, I think, harping on saying. I think you can make returns, but I don't think so. You can really add value. And also, right, an interesting comment came in the section, when this poll was happening. It says, I think funny is put that saying, and another friend of ours also was saying, look, how can you build conviction if you're investing in 100 companies, and if you're investing, in 2 3 companies in the same sector, right? Like, how do you really build conviction, right? That's like taking, shots, and if one of them hits, yeah, you succeed. I mean, if that is the game, right, that anybody can play, right? It's just a question of access and capital. Then, yeah,
Yeah,
Karthik, yeah,
I actually wanted to tell one thing, especially for angel investors, because we are an angel fund, right? I think as a GP or as a syndicate lead, we can probably take 4 bets in a sector or 5 bets in a sector. But as an angel investor, would you have so much capital to deploy across all the 5 companies in a particular sector and then see that, yeah, one might click out of it? So I think especially when it comes to syndicate investments, if somebody is investing across 100 companies in a year, then 5 of them or 6 of them might become big success. The question is, are you going to be part of those 5 or 6? So I think that's also something which investors have to think about, especially angel investors backing syndicates and investing through syndicates.
yeah, absolutely. I think. Karthik, what's your take, man? Because value add, can you add value for 100 companies? Really?
Oh, I think it's suspect, right? When people are investing in so many companies, and like you said, not just one company in a particular space, right? Two, three companies which could potentially be competing against each other. The question is, who do you add value to, right?
Yeah.
Eventually you're gonna have to pick and choose. If you're really in the business of adding value, you have to pick one company or the other, right, to add value. The question really for founders to ask is that really who I should jump into bed with?
Yeah.
Or should I rather take money from somebody who believes in me and the company that I'm building, right? I think the market conditions right now, like you said, if it is just access and to good deals and access to capital, right, is the only thing that is basically getting solved here, right? Uh, but not necessarily the value that you're bringing to the founders.
No, absolutely. I think this also throws another question, Karthik. I was meeting somebody last week, and they actually mentioned, I mean, do even VCs add value, right? This was even more meta question now. I have raised this question saying with 100 companies, can you add value? But the next level of question is, okay, do VCs really add value? That's like even a difficult question, right? If you ask, right? And some people don't believe VCs add any value. And as a VC personally, right? I believe we add value, but I mean, if somebody, what is the level of the value add? I think is questionable, or you can debate. But I think as a VC, I believe we add value, and I continue to believe we make life easier for people, right? To discover a lot of new things, right? Like example, right? I think one of the portfolio companies recently did a PR, right? I think we just connected to that agency. Imagine if that person or the new founder, he or she has to go and figure out which is the best PR agency for me at this stage. First, that will take at least 2 weeks, to shortlist. So imagine, Java Capital is telling, okay, here is a PR agency. You talk to them. Here's the rate. This is what they work with. I mean, boss, I think we've added value there. We've saved tons of time there, and we also got a good working agency, for example. I think that is value add. I don't know if people recognize it or not, but I think there is real value in the small things that we do also, and also the larger things that we end up doing. I believe it, but I would love to hear what you guys think also on the same. Yeah.
Yeah, I think sometimes value can be these tiny things, right? Especially in early stages. And there again, I think having somebody very hands on like us, where you get to interact with the partners directly, might be good for founders because. Be it hiring or be it doing the second interviews or third interviews which we do, sometimes I think with larger funds, right, founders might not get these little help, and also picking up the phone and calling us, right? We know so many founders who pick up the phone and call us for anything which they want to brainstorm. I think it's a lot of intangible little things which adds up over a period of time, and also being able to access the partners directly. These become important, so founders have to consider these things as well.
No, yeah, I think it's interesting because some people believe VCs don't add value, and they just go against the stock. And then there's recently, yeah, I've seen a lot of people talking about, but I believe there is value in what's happening. Yeah.
Okay. One thing I wanted to chat was for founders, right? This section is for founders. Something which we have been observing over a long period of time. How do you pitch? So, how do you ensure, especially in online pitches, that people are with you? So, I thought we'll spend a couple of points on that, because today in online, you don't have the luxury of observing the body language being there in face to face, right? So I always tell there is a rule of 25 30 seconds or 40 seconds, right? Don't talk more than that. Pause. If somebody is not asking you questions in between the presentation, still it's okay. Make them ask questions, or ensure they are with you. when you are moving across sections, right? If you're talking about team or talking about competition, market, product. So after you finish every section, ensure people are there with you. Nudge them, nudge investors, ensure that they are listening to you. Full attention is with what you're pitching. I think it's going to be very important. And one thing is, don't do what I am now doing. I think I have been now talking for 1 minute or 1.5 minutes. Don't do that. Stop every 40 seconds. It comes with practice, but I think it's something worth which founders have to spend time on.
Yeah. I think it's becoming harder. I'll admit also to myself and everybody, right? Listening to pitches all day, right, on Zoom is way harder than I can do a 1 hour walk and talk with any founder I've noticed and be very active. But on Zoom, right, there is an attention issue where you're looking at the Zoom and suddenly you look at Twitter, you're looking at WhatsApp because somebody sends a message. Absolutely, there's so much distraction, and then you have to take notes on top of it, which is even harder if you're doing it on the phone, or if you're writing it down. So there's so much of actually frictions and challenges in doing a Zoom call pitch. I think but obviously, right, we don't have a lot of choices, and I think with whatever is available, I think founders and both investors need to figure out how best it can be done. Yeah.
And I also get suspicious, man. Sometimes when founders or anybody, right, as a matter of fact, somebody is pitching for like non-stop, right? 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It's like, why is it so difficult for you to convey something in 15 seconds to 30 seconds, right? Why should it take 2, 3 minutes? Like,
Two,
are
three
you?
minutes is fine. I think off late we are seeing people one question, 5 minutes non-stop talking, and you forget what they are answering for also.
I think keeping it crisp is an art also, Karthik. So I'll ask you a question. What is your name, right? You should not say which village I was born, which school you want, right? Like, I mean, that is what happens in a pitch, right? I think founders, maybe, we are being a little harsh here, but founders, just go on in a circle trying to defend, thinking that the question is a defensive one. You don't need to get defensive, I think. You just need to answer it. I think it'll really work. If it's a question saying, how much are you raising? It should be very short. I'm raising $2 million, right? What are you going to do with the money? I'm going to use it on marketing XYZ, unless I'm going deep down and clicking it, right? But a lot of people, just go on and on, which actually, I also, I'm not a big fan of that also. In fact, we can just be very sharp, it actually helps.
Okay, Vinod. So now are we going to move to your
Yeah. So now,
critical topic?
yeah, now the fun section, right? I mean, some of you have been hearing. Let's remove the pitch thing. People think this also will be a pitch then. Yeah. This is not a part of the pitch. I mean, recently, right? I think a couple of news items has been making the headlines. One was, I haven't read this SEBI's finding reports fully, but I've been reading left, right, and center on Twitter and other places, right? About NSE's ex-chairman, listening to a Swamiji from, somewhere, and making
Who the person
Hey,
has not met.
yeah,
the,
Nobody knows. So,
only
and
knows.
the thing is, the Swamiji claims he doesn't have a physical form. So,
Karthik, okay,
how
sorry.
do you think I'm spending the last week every day morning 10 minutes of my time only reading on this? Because it is multiple level on insights into psychology, right? How people think irrespective of the level.
So this is interesting, right? Divine intervention, right? Um, uh, right, like it's not like I've not heard of this before, not in just that industry, other industries. I think some of the leaders, right, most people, if not all, we've seen Ranbaxy, right, had a Guruji, if you remember, and and how the Ranbaxy story turned out. And I think I don't know why, but leaders eventually seem to go for some spiritual leaders after some point. I don't know where that comes from. Is it disenchantment, or is it like lack of company, or lack of sparring partners for an intellectual debate? I don't know where it.
No,
But
no, it is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Self-actualization. They are going towards that, and these are external help coming for that.
but if you are actualizing yourself, why are you going to Swamiji? Because Swamijis are then Swamiji is at the pinnacle of actualization. We should just leave all our decisions to them. Then if really that's the case, right?
No, but Swamijis are supposed to be Sarvasanga Paratyagi, Yeah, they're not supposed to interfere in material things. One, and as Indians now, we've gotten used to politicians taking lessons from Swamijis. Now the business leaders are also lining up slowly.
Yeah, this is a controversial topic, right? Especially given Swamiji's relationship with politics in this country, and in the most countries. I think I wouldn't deny that, right? Everything the church and the government, right? In some extent, everywhere. I mean, when I'm saying the church, I mean all religious institutions. Yeah. There seems to be some level of connection and intervention everywhere. And the 1992 scam story, I also had a famous Swamiji at the doorsteps of the PMO, right? And that's when the
Chandra
investigation.
Swami.
Yeah. So I think it's not new to us. Maybe this generation is seeing it in newer light. Next, you'll have a crypto Swamiji. I will not be surprised. So it is possible. Yeah, I think that was some.
Put a disclaimer. So this is not about all Swamiji.
Yeah. It's not about all. Yes, absolutely.
There are some real good ones as well.
Correct. I think everywhere bad apples. That I think is clear. So
Looks like Bhargavi is going to one.
Yeah.
I
Aram Java
I
Hari
am
on Swamiji.
in the interest of protecting the company.
No, I think I think we should put some disclaimers nowadays. We are very close to the finance ministry of late. They are hearing our
Exactly.
agenda and making some changes in the law and all. So I think we should be more careful of.
What if this becomes viral?
Yeah. If it goes viral and tomorrow morning we'll be in the courts sued for defamation, like Mr. Vikram, right? He's just got he filed a defamation against others. I saw the hearing in the afternoon for plagiarism by somebody else. I think this is like just ideological thing. Everything ideology is like playing out in the courts, not in anywhere else. Very strangely, that's what's happening. I think a lot of politics we are talking today. Seems like. Let's switch from Swamiji's and
Thank you.
NSE and scams to something also interesting that's been happening, right? Unicorns, we are like 7-8 unicorns again in February already. We've had Elastic Run becoming a unicorn. That's the latest one, I'm assuming.
Darwin Box?
Huh?
Darwin Box, right?
Elastic Run announced couple of days ago. Yeah, Elastic Run. Then we also saw Unifor has become a $2.5 billion company yesterday, raising a massive round. So I think capital is going to continue to be there this year, is my view. But I also sense, in the second half of the year, we'll start seeing crunch, especially towards early stage Series A or pre-Series A kind of capital. I feel, because the growth stage capital might kind of be there, pumping for maybe another half a year. And I think that's like a warning for us also. I think, how we're going to look at it. That's my view. I mean, I think others can have alternate views. But that's what I'm thinking seriously on the startup side. Yeah.
I don't think so. I think 2022 will sail through.
We'll sail through. Okay.
2022 end and 2023 onwards is when,
Yeah, interesting. So
but we will see by then.
Hmm?
We will see by then what happens. There might be a turnaround.
Yeah. So, and there's a public market correction.
There's still plenty of dry powder, but I think towards the end of this year, second half of this year, we'll see the pinch starting.
Yeah, interesting. And what else is happening, folks?
Today
I'm enjoying my sangria, See, you guys are missing out on this.
Yeah.
I know.
After the sangria, you have a lot of fire to take or breathe.
This is my liquid courage right now.
But yeah, Karthik, do well in the meeting, expecting some positive outcome.
Yeah, no pressure, right?
No pressure.
Yeah. So what
So
what
today,
is
not just today, I have been hearing from a couple of LPs that we are not doing as much volume as some of the others, and it goes back to volume question which we discussed initially. But what
yeah.
are your views?
I think I am of the view. I think volume doesn't work if you really want strong conviction and ownership, larger ownerships, and play it for the long term. You can do volumes and just stay away and make money. I mean, if that's what you want to make, you can do it. I don't think so. That's a wrong strategy, right? I think it's a strategy which will work for making money. But do you only want to make money is the question. Do you want to add value, create some impact, or you want to just be seen as, oh, he just put money or she put money and then walked off with the returns. I think that's the question, right? And I think there's more fun in working with founders and helping them as much as possible wherever they're receptive to. I think that's where the fun is. I think that's why we are doing this business in the first place. I think capital does matter, but the capital is anyway going to feel. If you do a good job on picking companies and helping them out, I would do this. This is a fun way. I think that's like a not fun way. That you can put money in somewhere else and also earn it. I feel that way. Just money is what's going to matter, right? So, especially if you want to do volumes, there it's like a statistical return possibility all the time. Yeah, you don't need to
Yeah.
be absolutely skillful or intelligent anything about it. Just if you have good access, put money and you are done.
I think we should talk about the alpha conversation that we were having the other day. People
Yeah.
investing left, right, and center at the various stages. There is no rhyme or reason. One investment is in Series B, one investment a pre-seed, a seed. Across various sectors, stages. I think that was an interesting conversation that we had, and we're already seeing how that is playing out with our portfolio companies, right? What does capturing alpha looks like, when you are disciplined in a particular stage, and in those areas that you are actually familiar with, right? um, in many ways, while we are working on our deck, that's the strategy that we're following, right, is sort of self-explanatory in a way.
No, absolutely, Karthik. So, I think discipline and consistency, right, of the portfolio, which will start showing up not just for this fund, right, like the fund that you do immediately, but if you really want to stay in this business for the long term, also eventually, let's assume you want to invite institutional capital, because who serious folks are the ones who are going to think, portfolio mix, portfolio construction, right? If you are thinking on those lines, I think we are absolutely thinking on those lines. So we want to be disciplined and we want to work with these companies and create the correct portfolio mix, which is what we are trying to tell everybody. Look, why we are different from others at this stage. We are not putting money all over the place, right? And I think that's coming through actually, as you said, in the alphas, in the multiples that we've so far generated, and also, right, I think the strategy seems to be working clearly, right? And institutional investors want to know, what did you do to maintain the discipline in the long run, right? Or family offices also, for that matter. Individual capital may not ask you those complicated, sophisticated questions, but as you grow, I think we'll
Yeah.
be in a better position to answer these questions because we put some thought behind why we invested in XYZ companies, and it's not just a random, throw of the dice,
Yeah.
right? So that's not something that we've done. I think in the long run it'll hold better, and we'll have a better
Metric to show or numbers. Yeah.
numbers to show, discipline to show, and why we are skillful, not just lucky alone. We need to be lucky also, but I think the skill also matters. Skill plus luck matters for winners in this industry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything that you guys are reading just before we wrap it up? I want to actually share a book that Or are we good? Okay. Yeah. So this is the book I've been reading.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. So if you're wondering why, right? I mean, I don't want to be ignorant when I'm dealing. So I picked that. I've just gone through.
Wow.
So and
Another
just,
skill this is then.
huh?
So we will be ready to start looking at real estate deep tech startups now.
Real estate deep dive. Yeah, we should be able to see after this. Yeah. I mean, in any area, right? I think since we look at SHA documents, you can read legal documents, right? I think similar to that, you can go through these and just keep yourself, top of the play. And everywhere, right? The play I've realized, right? Just like in venture capital, is information asymmetry. Why do you need a lawyer? Why do you need a particular professional, right? Is information asymmetry because laws are drafted in complex forms and fashion, and you have a form for everything, you have a procedure for everything, and on top of all of that, right, there's a massive amount of discretion that any law, any regulation provides to the officers.
Yeah.
Because of that, right, you're always at a disadvantage. Anywhere, right, we've seen that in our experience with our own internal.
Personally, I have seen. So
Yeah,
tell me about.
just like VC investing is exploiting information asymmetry, right? Every profession, in some form, is also exploiting information asymmetry,
No,
and
no,
that
I
is why
think
we're
beyond a level,
saying
it's not even that. It's just authority, which you said, right? They just provide so much authority and discretion,
correct,
which you can't even question.
exactly, discretion and authority on top of it, which is like a recipe for dealings. Yeah, awesome. That's the book that I'm currently reading. I'm thinking in bets as halfway through that I started.
Oh,
So those
that's a
are,
good book. Yeah.
yeah, that's like halfway through. That is where I
I'm
am. I mean,
reading Dan Ariely's
thinking fast,
Predictably
thinking.
Irrational.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's pretty interesting. Yeah. I've heard that is something also there. Karthik's looking full lighted up now. Yeah.
The book that I'm reading is the Almanac of Naval Ravikant, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a fascinating book. I think it's actually freely available also, for people who are interested to read.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good read. I've always read threads, right? It's all combined. The threads are being combined together in a single, collection. Yeah. It's an interesting play. Yeah.
Yeah, this book, Predictably Irrational, I think founders should read the book. It talks about how you play with human decision making by giving choices. And it's a beautiful discussion on social obligations versus economic obligation. So I think I feel anyone above 13, 14 years of age should read the book, but
13,
founders
14.
especially.
Yeah, yeah. 13, 14 is going to be hard. I can't even distinguish when I was 13, 14 between rationality and irrationality. And you are talking about rational
No,
decision
no, I
making.
am talking current age 13, 14 year olds. I think they are way past.
Yeah, that book would serve Karthik really well today if he had read it and gone. Okay.
No, no. I think that won't be
I
any
mean,
rational conversation. So,
by the way, the gist of the book that I'm reading, right, is be rational, and pick do contrarian things.
yeah,
So,
then it's perfect. That's the only thing you need today.
Okay, I think that's a good point to wrap. I think we've discussed good amount of stuff, and I think we should have put the better opinion that we came up. But anyway, we'll keep that for the next week. Hopefully we'll have a guest also, uh,
Yeah.
folks, and you should be able to see me in Coimbatore next week. And surprise, in March I should be in Gujarat. Okay,
Oh, nice.
in the land of where all the action used to.
Gandhiji, in the land of Gandhiji.
Yeah, in the
I'm
land.
helping you.
Yeah, yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's not Nehru's India, by the way. Okay.
Today, Vinod is in a mood.
I think we should wrap now,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Chalo, see you guys. Have a good
Bye
weekend. Yeah.
bye.
Bye bye. Yeah.